Hey guys, we are back with some more MODO Eastside Hockey Manager, and in this one, we are, first of all, going to send Jacob Wigfist back down to J20, because he's been kind of struggling compared to last year. He had 11 points in 19 games last year, and this year in 16 games, he only has 3. And for that matter, he also has a worse average rating. So we're going to be sending him down for more seasoning to the J20 team, and we are also going to be sending down our other 15-year-old in Erik Olsson. He's done all right. He stayed consistent with where he was last year, but I would like him to get some more development in the J20 team. So as a result of sending those guys down, we will dress Norlander, and we will also dress Tobias Ostrom, and we'll be scratching Daniel Sawander. He hasn't produced much offense, and he hasn't been good really defensively either. So we will get Anton Karlstrom in there for the first time this season as well. And now we need an extra defenseman to replace Erik Olsson. So we'll be going back down to the J20 team to call up Oscar Byström. So we will recall him to MODO. He is contracted to the J20 team, but he'll be on our roster for right now. We're also going to start Linus Lundin for the start of November. And the player of the month of October is Jacob Lilia of Timra. And the rookie of the month is Jesper Eliasson of Almtuna. Game against Almtuna, we have a 1-0 lead going into the second period on a goal by Janssen. Second period, there you go, Karlqvist from Olofsson and Alman. And third period, we get a 2-1 victory over Almtuna. That is a pretty big victory. We're now in first. Game against the 12th place, Bjorklöven. This should be a win. No, it is not. It's a 6-2 loss. That is a yikes. Goals by Brickley and Lashinsky, but that is about it for us. And now let's get Eric Hansies back in there. Linus Lundin had a good run, but now we need to get the number one goaltender in the league some more time. Game against Timra, they're in fourth, we're in third. Gotta be a win here, in regulation preferably, and no, it's a loss. 5-4 loss, not even in overtime or the shootout. We lose in regulation, and they pass us for third place now. Career milestone for Patrick Karlqvist. He has now 100 career points in Allsvenskan. So Tobias Ostrom has not been good. We're going to get Daniel Sawander back in there. As for goaltenders, I think we should leave Hansies in there for right now because Lundin actually has been struggling with the save percentage. Game against Kristianstad, they are 4-10, 3-2. Come on, boys. W. Oh my goodness. That is a 4-2 loss. I am actually kind of rattled. I am kind of rattled right now. That should not have been a loss. We've been losing some games that should not be lost. And of course, Sebastian Dyke is injured once again. With 2 weeks with a hip flexor strain. So we're going to get Kim Rosedahl in there as a result. And we may as well just clear all lines and ask the coach for the best lines at this point because we are on a tremendous losing streak, I believe, at the moment. As, lost. We're on a 3-game losing streak. That's kind of bad for a team that's vying for first or second in the entire league and vying to potentially go up to the SHL. So, I mean, we're not too far behind second or first for that matter because they both have the same amount of points, but we really cannot afford to be dropping games at the rate that we've been dropping them recently. So let's get a win. We're definitely going to need to at least cancel out that 3-game losing streak that we just went on. If we don't get on some kind of winning streak here, we're definitely not catching the first and second place teams. And Patrick Karlqvist injured for 3 weeks with a hip flexor strain in practice on Saturday. Yay! Oh my goodness. It's just so many injuries. Oh my goodness. So many injuries, specifically hip flexor strains. So looks like we're getting Ostrom back in there. Game against Vasteras, we need this one. They are 10-5, 3-2. We are 9-7, 4-0. Come on, boys. Oh my goodness, a 4-1 loss. Not even the offense showed up in that game. What is going on? All right, here we go. Game against Tingsryd. We need the W here. We get it in OT. Okay, so we got the 2 points, I believe, but not as many points as we could have gotten. So Brickley, Janssen, Rosedahl, and Summers with the goals. Come on with these injuries. Frederick Olofsson now injured for 10 days with a neck strain in practice. Not a shocker at this point. It's just not the amount of injuries that we get in practice. You absolutely hate to see it. And those are two of our best guys as far as average rating goes, down with a major injury. As a matter of fact, they are by far our best guys as far as average rating. I mean, the next guy, the best healthy guy right now is Connor Brickley with a 723. And then those two, Olofsson and Karlqvist, 782, 770. I mean, jeez. Okay, game against Karl Skrona. Oh, come on, we need this one. They're right behind us, too. If they get this win, I guarantee you if they get this win, they are probably moving into 5th here. Come on, boys. Oh, my goodness. I mean, they got the win. They didn't move into 5th, but they still got the win. That's 3 more points for them. That is another 3 points that we're going to have to make up later on in the season. We're just dropping back in a huge way. I mean, we're still in the playoffs technically because we're in that group that plays for the round robin, that one spot in the round robin. But again, that's the round robin, and after the round robin, you have to play another team, and then you have to play another team in order to have a chance of getting into the SHL. So it's yeah, it would be ideal if we were in 1st or 2nd right now, but we've dropped quite a few games in our past. Yeah, really, this entire simulation. I mean, loss, overtime win, loss. Yikes. November's been a rough month for MODO here. Game against Vita Hasten. They're in 2nd. This is going to be a pretty good game. A pretty good test to see if we are actually the team that we were looking like before we had this tremendous losing streak. So come on, guys. Please. There you go. We win in a shootout this time. So we get the 2 points. A 5-4 win over Vita Hasten. Goals by Janssen, Summers, Brickley, Rosdahl, and then shootout goals by Janssen and Enstrom. That was our last game of November, but I still don't like it. And of course, Jonathan Janssen is now out with a neck strain from a practice injury. But still, you know, I'm not liking that way we're playing right now. I don't think we've had a regulation win all episode so far. And the season's short. The season is short in the SHL, or, well, Allsvenskan in this case. The season is short in Sweden. We only have, I think, 52 games total. That means we're already about, I would say, 45% of the way through the season. If we don't shape up soon, I don't think we're getting into 1st or 2nd. Because the 1st and 2nd teams, they have 47 and 46 points. We have 39 right now. I think we've only gotten a few points in this episode. And again, we don't have a single regulation win in this episode either, I don't believe. As we check out our schedule, actually, there was that first one against Altoona, but we do not have a regulation win since. This one was in overtime, and then this one was in the shootout. And as we know, the regulation wins count for 3 points, whereas the OT and shootout losses, or shootout wins, I should say, only count for 2. So we really gotta figure it out here. I don't know what's going wrong. I mean, obviously we have our 2 best forwards missing right now in terms of average rating, and Olofsson and Karlqvist, but still, you know, this is, even without those guys, this is still a pretty decent team. We shouldn't be losing as much as we are, especially with one of the better goaltenders in the league, and Eric Hanzies, and as well as Linus Lundin. Linus Lundin is not too shabby himself, or at least the game says. So we need to figure this out pretty quickly here. And the player of the month is Eric Nystrom of Vastervik, and the rookie of the month is Ebbe Fjallstrom of Kristianstad. All right, here we go. Game against the 10th place AIK. We need a regulation victory. Come on, boys. That'll be a 4-2 win, finally. All right. So goals by Hora, Rosdahl, Ostrom, and Rosdahl once again in the empty net. And most importantly as well, we cannot be dropping games to teams like, you know, Södertälje or AIK or Kristianstad. Those are games that we should definitely be winning. And the games that we don't win of those, that hurts our chances at being in 1st or 2nd. Game against Mora. They are in 10th. We need this victory as well. In regulation, please. Oh my goodness, another loss. Well, the good news is that Fredrik Olofsson is back, so maybe that'll help us out a little bit. We'll get Karlstrom out of there. He's been kind of bad with that 610 average rating in 10 games. We'll get Olofsson back in. Game against Vastavik. They're in 11th. Don't blow it, Modo. Alright, there we go. 5-2 victory against them. We're in 4th now. And on goals by Berglund, Dyke again, Eklof, and Janssen. We win that one 5-2. I'll take it for sure. After what we've been through over the past few weeks of simulating here, it's definitely a step in the right direction, but we have to stay consistent here. And Patrick Hallquist is also back, so we are definitely going to get him back in. Pontus Eklof hasn't been great. He's a -7. He's got a 648 average rating. We'll take him out and we'll put Carlquist in. Game against Soritalia. We have a really easy schedule as of recently. Don't blow this one either. Oh my goodness. A 2-1 loss against the 12th place team. You gotta be joking. So let's get Lundin in there, just to see if we can shake something up about this team. Game against Karlskoga. They're in 10th. Come on, boys. And that, good. 8-4 victory. Goes by Karlquist, Bjorklund, Sowander again, Lashinsky, Alman, Johnson, and Alman again. Game against Almtuna. They're in 9th. Come on, get the win. And no. Yeah. We can't find any kind of consistency here. Game against Bjorkloven. Come on. 3-2 overtime win. I will take it. Goes by Bjorklund, Lashinsky, and Karlquist. Game against the second place Teamra. A win here would be huge. Come on, boys. Yeah, there you go. An overtime win against them. So I'll take it. We get the 2 points. Karlquist again, and then Brickley twice as well. Gets us the 4-3 win over them. So there's some progress being made for sure, but it's still not great. And here we go again. Frankor out for 10 days with the groin strain in practice, and David Mikowski out for about a week with the neck strain in practice. I've never seen so many injuries happen in practice. It is ridiculous. So for right now, we're going to have to roll 3 defensive pairs like normal in the NHL. And game against Kristianstad, let's get the win, and we get the win in overtime. All right, I'll take it. We're getting points at least. Karlquist, Rosedal, Olofsson, and Janssen with the goals there for us. And the player of the month is Patrick Karlquist of your Modo Hockey. Scored 6 goals and assisted on 2 other goals, playing 6 games during that time. And the rookie of the month is Jesper Lindane of Almtuna. So we are currently sitting in 5th. The likelihood of us getting into the top 2, I would say at this point, is pretty slim, because we have tied for the fewest amount of regulation wins of the 8 teams currently in the playoff race. We would need to go on a pretty big winning streak in order to catch up to Vita Hasten and Teamra, because we are currently 8 points behind both of those teams. And at the rate they're winning, it's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough. We have to go on a huge winning streak. And it's not like we have that many more games left, right? We only have 19 games left. I would say out of the remaining 19 games, we need, I'm going to say, at least 15 wins in order to get into the top 2. That's quite the task. We can do it, though. We have the players. We have the tactics set up. We've seen them work before. We just needed to work consistently. That's the thing. And we've been on a winning streak here. It's just that we can't win in regulation for whatever reason. We have a win in overtime here, a win in overtime here, and another win in overtime there. So we're technically on a 3-game winning streak. But given that the regulation wins count for 1 more point, we really need to be going for those regulation wins. Okay, so I've changed up some personal tactics here because, the unique tactics, I feel like they're good, but we need something more to help out. So first of all, Kim Rosedal has been set to hit very hard because he is our best hitter on the team. He has an 85 for hitting. The game says he is our best, not checker, but best hitter in general. So we have set that all the way up to very hard. And Sebastian Dyke, he has been set to carry the puck because he is a very good stick handler. He has a 67 for stick handling. I believe that is one of the best on the team. And Chris Summers, he has been set to a very defensive mentality because it's not like he's getting any offense anyway. I mean, he does have 11 points. He didn't get too much offense last year, though. So that's why we're setting him to a very defensive mentality, so that maybe we can let in a few less goals, and also set him to safe passing so that he's less prone to errors. We've set Tobias Enstrom to join the rush because he is by far our best offensive defenseman. Got to get him some more points, and hopefully that will translate into more offense for us. And we have also set Linus Lundin to stay in his crease as opposed to playing the puck, because his stick handling is at a 30, his passing is at a 29, and his recovery is at a 58. So meaning if he messes up with the puck while retrieving it, or if he passes it to a teammate and fails, then he's less likely to make the save with that low recovery at 58, as opposed to Eric Hanzis, who has that 36 stick handling. Now his passing isn't great either at a 30, but he does have the recovery at a 74 to allow him to potentially make the save if he makes an error with the puck on his stick. So those are the personal tactics changes. Let's see if they work. Hopefully they do, because we're kind of running out of time here. And game against Vasteras. Here we go. We have a 4-3 loss. You absolutely hate to see it. We were up by 2 as well at the start of the game, but they came back. We had 1 goal in the final minute, but too little too late. We're really not in a good situation here as far as getting into those top 2 spots. I mean, we're still in the playoffs, obviously, so that's good, but really want to be in that top 2. And game against Tingsryd, we have an overtime loss. Olofsson and Brickley, they score in the final few minutes, and they get the OT goal within less than a minute to start the overtime. Yeah, first or second is not looking likely here, boys. Good news, though. Frank Hora and David Mikowski are back. We'll get them back in the lineup. Game against Carlos Corona, we have a 5-4 win in overtime, so we still cannot get that win, unfortunately, in regulation. I believe we've only had 2 or 3 of them so far in this episode. We do get the 2 points, but you really need those 3. We might be able to catch Timura, but it's the further we go into this season here, the more it is looking like we will have to settle for the round robin tournament. And game against Soritalia, we lose 4-2. Oh my goodness. We have more losses right now than regulation wins. The only reason we're even still in the playoff spot right now is because of the amount of overtime and shootout wins we have. 10. Compared to the next most, which is 5 for Almatuna. We have 10 overtime and shootout wins. We just, for whatever reason, we cannot win in regulation to save our lives, seemingly. Game against Vita Hasten, they're in first. Let's see if we could get a win against them. And we do. Okay, so we're winning against good teams, but we lose against bad teams. Doesn't make any sense. Bjorklund, Lashinsky with 2 goals, and then Sowander, Olofsson, and Rosedal with the goals to get us the 6-3 W. Game against AIK, they're in 12th. Man, what happened to AIK over the summer? They were one of the top 2 teams last year, and now they're all the way down there in 12th currently. Let's see what happens. That'll be a 4-1 regulation win. There it is. Olofsson, Rosedal, Olofsson again, and Karlqvist with the goals all in the 3rd period. And we win a good one, 4-1. Game against Mora. We need this one. They are 15-20, 3-1. Come on, again, we need pretty much every game. There it is, a 3-2 victory. In a comeback fashion, we get a goal by Sowander, another goal by Sowander, and then Janssen with the goals to get us the W and the 3 points, most importantly. And game against Karlskoga, they are in 10th. We, once again, need the victory. So, there you go. We get a 5-2 regulation victory. That is the most important thing. We get the 2-0 lead to start out with goals by Lashinsky and then Bjorklund. They get the game tied, but then we get 3 goals in the 3rd by Bjorklund, Dyke, and Bjorklund again in the final minutes for the 5-2 victory. Game against Vastervik, these are games that we need. Come on, boys. There you go, 4-0 win. We are starting to turn it around, it looks like. Goes by Brickley, Karlqvist, Rosedal, and Brickley once again. And the player of the month is Patrick Karlqvist of your MODO Hockey, who got 4 goals and 7 assists during 9 games played. And the rookie of the month is Oscar Bergerson of Tingsryd. Game against Vastervik, come on, boys. And that'll be a 3-2 regulation loss. You absolutely hate to see it. Again, that's a game that we need in order to clinch first place or second place even. we're still 8 points behind of Teamra. I don't know if it's happening. I mean, even though we're winning more games now, they're just kind of pulling away. And of course, Lashinsky is injured, so we're going to have to find someone to replace him at the moment. How long is he out? 3 weeks with a hip flexor strain, and let me guess, in practice? No, okay, it was in the game. That's understandable. Yeah, that's unfortunate as well, because Lashinsky, he's almost a point per game. 39 points in 43 games. Yeah, that's hard to replace. So we're going to get Ostrom back in. And we're also going to give Hansies a rest, because he's played a lot of games in a row. We'll get Lundin in. Game against Almtuna, they're in 12th. And, of course, they get the victory. Just as soon as it looked like things were turning around, nope. Nuh-uh. We got 2 goals there by Dyke and Olofsson, but they just crushed us in this game. I mean, geez. 17, 16, 10, and 1 are your Modo Hockey now, and our chances of being even in second are pretty much nothing right now. Matthias Norlinder out for 10 days. Game against Bjorklöven. There you go. We have a 4-1 victory over them. They got the first goal, but we got the last 4. Horat, Sawander, Brickley, and Berglund with the goals. There's almost no doubt at this point that we're just going to have to settle for the round-robin tournament and hope we come out on top, because Vita Hasten is now 9 points away from us. That's a little bit more than last we checked. I'm not worried about dropping out of the playoffs. That I'm definitely not concerned about, because the 9th place team, Karlskoga, only has 60 points. We have 75. I don't think we'll be dropping out of the playoffs, out of the round-robin tournament, but I don't think we'll be getting into second either. Game against Teamra. This will be a big game, and we win it 5-2 with goals by Enstrom, Brickley, Olofsson, Bjorklund, and Ostrom in the final second on the empty net. Of course, 2 of them were empty net goals, but still, huge win. Norlinder's back, so we now have 8 defensemen again, but, you know, obviously we're going to have to hope we stay healthy for the round-robin tournament, because the injuries seem to be what kill us here. They kill any kind of momentum that we seem to get. Game against Kristianstad, and we get a 3-1 win over them. Very nice. We have goals by Brickley, Bjorklund, and Bjorklund again in the empty net. And we have indeed qualified for the playoffs. It's just a matter of, are we going to be in 4th? Are we going to be in 3rd? We still could technically clinch 2nd or 1st at this rate, because Karlskrona and Vita Hasten, it looks like, have slowed down. They are both at 85 points, so we are within striking range still of 1st or 2nd. So we really, if we want 1st or 2nd, we have got to turn it on in these last 5 games. I would say 4 out of 5 at least. And then we also have to hope, of course, that Karlskrona and Vita Hasten get a couple of losses themselves. So there you go. There's a loss for Karlskrona. But unfortunately, they were facing Tingsryd, who are in 3rd. So we're also competing with Tingsryd there. Not good. Club in financial crisis. Modo Hockey owners have called an emergency board meeting to address the team's financial crisis. You are no longer in a position to refuse reasonable transfer offers for any team member. Oh no. Oh no. That's not good. Game against Vosteraz. Come on, boys. There you go. 4-0 victory. We are now in 3rd. Where do we sit in terms of 1st and 2nd and 3rd? We are 1 point behind Karlskrona. 1 regulation win will put us ahead of Karlskrona, but for how long? Right? We got to make sure we keep winning. And of course, Oscar Hedman out for 2 weeks with an abdomen injury in practice. Those practice injuries, man. The practice injuries, those frustrate me so much. They happen way too often. And Toby Enstrom, no way, dude. Toby Enstrom out for 2 months with a fractured ankle. We don't even have Enstrom for the... Yeah, that's bad. We don't have Enstrom for the round robin. That means as well. Rats. Oh no. Firestad offer for Winquist, $16K. I seriously hope that the board sees this as unreasonable. Totally unacceptable. Alright. Good. I think the board agrees with me that Winquist is worth a lot more than $16K. Game against Tingsryd. This is an important game if we want to get in to either 1st or 2nd. We've dropped down to 5th for some reason. I would guess that's because other teams have played more games already. And yeah, but we're still only 4 points back. So this is entirely possible. Come on, boys. Get the win. Yes, we get a regulation victory over Tingsryd, and we are back to within 1 point of second place. And Connor Brickley, injured for 3 weeks with a hip flexor strain in practice. I am slowly losing my sanity with this game and the practice injuries. All right, game against Karlskrona. Oh, game against Karlskrona. The second place Karlskrona. This is huge. Come on, boys. Come on. All right, we got the win at OT. I'll take that too. So they got a point, but we got 2. Rosedal, Sawander, Eklof, and Rosedal with the goals. So we're inching closer to second place here. We are tied with Tingsryd. We are tied with Tingsryd. We still have 2 games left. We have a game in hand of Tingsryd and Karlskrona. So if we win our next 2 games, I do like our chances at potentially getting into either first or second place. Come on, boys. And Tanner Lashinsky is back. So that is some good news because he's been one of our best offensive players. He has 39 points on the season. So we are going to get him back in instead of Karlstrom. Game against Sotatalia. Come on, boys. Regulation win. Regulation win. Regulation win. What is with the simulating? And we are now in first with the 5-3 victory. Let's go. Give me one more victory and we will officially, I believe, be in the championship series with whoever is with us, which it looks like it could be Karlskrona, it could be Vida Hasten. I'm not going to get ahead of myself, though, because we still got one more game to play. If we win it, then we are locked up for first place. And the player of the month is Andreas Lundgren of Tingsryd, and the rookie of the month is Jesper Lindane of Almtuna. And unfortunately, MODO financial struggles. The report claims that the team will have to dump salary by trading players in order to keep afloat. That is not good. But luckily, we are towards the end of the regular season now. Only have one more regular season game left, and it is today against Vida Hasten. Oh, that is a big game. And we are $5.5 million in debt. That does not look good at all. Hopefully, the player budget doesn't go down at all next year. So let's simulate this game against Vida Hasten. They're now in 4th. Let's view this game anyway, because if we get the win, we're automatically in the championship series. Here we go. First period. All right, that is a goal for them. Second period. All right, they got a goal, but we got a goal as well. Eklof. Third period. You hate to see it. They get the win, and do we stay? No. We fell back to 4th. I don't believe it. We were so close. We were so close, yet so far. Right when it looked like we were, obviously we were losing some games there early on. We had some struggles. We didn't think we were even gonna get into first or second place. Then we get into first place, and then only to be ruined by Vida Hasten. So now we have to play the round robin. How anticlimactic was that? So, before we end off the episode, let's check out the stats. Eric Hanses with a 904 save percentage and a 747 average rating. Linus Lundin with an 881 and a 692 average rating. And as we check defensemen, Enstrom led the team in points with 29, Alman with 25, Summers with 14, Hedman with 11, same thing for Mikowski, Hora with 10, Berglund with 7, and Norlander with 5. Average ratings, a 723 for Enstrom, a 721 for Alman, a 7 for Mikowski, a 685 for Hedman, a 675 for Berglund, a 671 for Summers, a 662 for Norlander, and a 661 for Hora. Now, as we check forwards, Olofsson with 56 points, Karlqvist with 48, 40 for Lashinsky, 39 for Brickley, 38 for Björklund, 32 for Janssen, 20 for Rosedal, 17 for Yelvert, 16 for Sowander, 15 for Dyke, 15 for Wernbloom as well, 11 for Eklof, 6 for Ostrom, and 1 for Karlstrom. Average ratings, you have Karlqvist with a 789, a 777 for Olofsson, a 733 for Brickley, a 720 for Lashinsky, a 715 for Björklund, a 709 for Rosedal, and then a 697 for Dyke, a 679 for Yelvert, a 676 for Sowander, a 673 for Janssen, a 652 for Wemblom, a 648 for Eklof, and a 644 for Ostrom, and then of course Karlstrom, the healthy scratch from the majority of the year, with a 618. Now as we check up on Winqvist and Olsen, Winqvist with 36 points in 28 games, and 18 points for Olsen in 28 games as well. 750 average rating for Winqvist and 725 for Olsen. Those two are studs. So that'll be about it for this one. Once again, instead of the championship final, we are in the... Where is it? There it is. We are in the round robin. So with that, in the next one, we will play the round robin tournament and hopefully work our way up to the SHL. See you guys in the next one.